Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us today on Feel Good Services. And we hope wherever you are, you're feeling good and making your life worth living. We have received various feedback and various recommendations, and we always try to incorporate those feedbacks into the services that we provide for you. For that reason, if you noticed, the last 2 weeks, the ones that we did, were both done in the Ghanaian language. It was because of our Ghanaian colleagues or friends or viewers saying that they do not understand some of the terminologies that are being used. So I had to break it down and say it in a language that they're very familiar with. And after doing that, I also received feedback that the American viewers are also missing out, and they also want to know more about what we're talking about. For that reason, today we're going to blend both. So we're going to have it more in English, but then we're also going to explain some of the things in Twi, a local Ghanaian language, so that they can also really understand the import of the message that we're trying to send out. Please let me know your comments. Let it keep coming because it helps us to improve on our services and give you the best. Today we're going to talk about sleep. We're going to talk about sleep. Somebody may ask, what has that got to do with mental health? What is the relationship between sleep and mental health? And that is where today we're going to merge it and let you understand and let you know what it has in common and how one impacts the other. Let's look at a few statistics from the Center for Disease Control, CDC. CDC reports that 50 to 70 million US adults have sleep disorders. So people with sleep disorders, out of the 50 to 70 million, 37.9% of them reported unintentionally falling asleep during the day. 4.7% of these people also reported falling asleep or nodding off while driving. And then also 9 to 21% of these people are women who had obstructive sleep apnea. And 24 to 31% were men who also reported having obstructive sleep apnea. And 3 to 5% of all of the population are proportion of obese adults, which are attributed to short sleep. So what I'm saying is, lack of good sleep can lead to obesity, and obesity can also impact the quality of sleep that you also have. So these are some of the statistics out there, and I want you to think about this and have it sink in. So I want you to have that sink in for a moment. And you know, the mepa chene say, enna so wenya enna papa, etimi ma ugeni weight. So wenya enna papa, e ma o drive crampo na o tonko na o da e wo steer nachi. And we e ma accident bebre esi. So wenya enna papa, Emma, utimi unya atenka papa, unya anhoden papa enfendi dwuma. Obebusa se ene mental health so de bomu say. But me person me share mouth say sleep disorders has an impact on mental health. And there are so many other contributing factors, whether physical or physiological, that impacts our sleep. For that reason, I want us to look at some of the sleep disorders or some of the things that impact our sleep. There's something that we call the circadian cycle, which is the normal rhythm or the body's time for us to sleep. So if you work night shift, the body knows that when you come back from work during the day, you realize that you start to feel tired. And then that is when you fall asleep. If you usually wake up around 4 a.m. for work, it gets to a time where your alarm don't even have to go off and you wake up at 4 a.m. when you even don't have to work. Because the body accustoms itself to know that at every time I have to sleep at 10 p.m. and then be up at 4 a.m. So having a good sleep routine or good sleep practices helps you to have a good sleep. So the circadian cycle is what regulates our sleep cycle. It's what regulates our sleep. So it is very important that we have a very good routine so that our body can get used to it. If you're sleeping so much at one time and then the next time you're not sleeping enough, and then you switch it from days to nights, and then the next time from nights to days, once you happen to do that, you confuse the body as to which one am I getting used to. So it gets used to you sleeping at 10 p.m. and waking up at 5 a.m. And then the next time you're switching it up on the body and then sleeping at 10 a.m. and waking up at 4 p.m. So it is very important that we have some consistency in our sleep. One of the disorders that I want us to look at is narcolepsy. So someone who is narcoleptic is someone that will fall asleep anywhere they are. They can sit in the club with the speakers going and all the loud music, and then they'll be asleep. These people can be driving and just fall asleep without knowing. You could be talking to them and then they'll just fall asleep. So these people just sleep at any time without any control. They can't really determine, and it's not like they didn't have enough sleep during the night for which they are falling asleep during the day. And then we have insomnia. Insomnia is the most common sleep disorder. So this is when you have difficulty falling asleep or difficulty staying asleep. It could be that you fall asleep once you lay on the bed, but then it takes you, it doesn't take much. Then you wake up because you are not able to sustain the hours of sleep. Or you go to bed trying to sleep and then it takes you a while before you fall asleep. There's also sleep apnea, which also has something to do with your physiological composition, and it impacts the quality of sleep that you have. People with sleep apnea typically will be snorers, like they snore during their sleep. And then we have people that also sleepwalk. So their eyes will be wide open, they'll be walking, but they will be asleep. It is very dangerous because you could be in your room sleeping and then just wake up one night and start walking the streets, and you'll still be in your sleep, but then you just be roaming. For that reason, it's very important that you keep an eye on those people who have that kind of disorder so that they do not escape the house and then put themselves in danger. The other one is people who have nightmares. So if you have nightmares during your sleep, of course, it's going to wake you up. And then once you wake up, you're going to be in a panic state and your heart will start beating so fast, which means that it impacts your heart, and then it also affects your heart, it affects your body, and then it affects your thinking also. So nightmares also impact the quality of sleep that we can have. The making in an says, when ya ednapa na ema obody nankasa no enya ahoden emfendi dwuma da mu ni nyina na body nankasa ewo time clock bi woni mu a my body ni hu se emra so se mekoda enti so obi a ebebo 8 na wada bo se bo 8:30 ko 9 na unya 9 na oni start kum den bi because body na hu se ne mra so se okoda enti eye se ebenya a good cycle a yebetimi ede ada ana your yarewa ahodo so a etimi affect yenna, and it's important to say would mean ne year ubehu obi na wetimi ahwe ama afa yenhwe some of the conditions that if you lack good sleeper it can lead to. Some of the conditions that when you lack good sleep you can have. So you can have injuries related to lack of good sleep. And the injuries can range from you sleepwalking and hitting your leg into a furniture. And I said, you thinking that you are asleep, but then really you've left the house and then walking on the road. It can also lead into injuries because you could be driving and then falling asleep. So those are some of the risky parts of it. So when you're driving, you also have to be mindful of the person driving next to you, because that person might be asleep and still be driving. So it puts you at risk, and then it puts the other person also at risk. For that reason, it is very important that we make sure that we get enough sleep, quality sleep, so that we do not put our lives at risk. Whenever we also do not have enough sleep, or we do not have good sleep, it also leads to us having inability to focus during the day. So your mind is still tired. The body works in a very perfect way. When you don't have the amount of sleep that you're supposed to get, during the day, the body still feels so weak. It feels so tired. Therefore, it affects your brain, and you are not able to concentrate. Remember, when we started, I said, somebody might ask, what is the relationship between sleep and mental health? And that is one of it. Lack of concentration can lead to so many other conditions. Therefore, it is very important that once again, you get a good sleep. It also affects your retention. You're not able to retain information. Hence, if you have a student who is not having enough sleep, then they come to class and they are not able to study. If you are the student who is not able to have enough sleep, then you're not able to retain information. And you know, ehu hia pa say yetimi nya ena very quality ena so ye na se be a ye call about our day-to-day activities na ema yen affect eno no, because eba ne sa na ema ase adwen no ada enti no obi che wade krampo no untimi pay attention, untimi concentrate sa anso no na se ye che obi bi so a untimi retain. Even abofra wo fie na se onya na papa na okosku a wo say it me affecting the behavior crampo e wo school. And it is very important that we have enough sleep. The other thing also say it may affect your blood pressure, because the heart has to compensate for the heart has to rest when we are asleep. But then if you lay down thinking you are asleep and you are really not into deep sleep, what you're doing is you still putting your heart to work. Your heart, of course, never stops working. But what I mean is the rate at which it has to work during the day is not the same rate when that it has to work when you are asleep. Hence, if you're not in a deep sleep or when you're not having a good sleep, the heart is still working the rate at which it should be working when you are engaged in activities. Hence, the heart do not have time to rest and always working. For that reason, it leads to some cardiac conditions, and it also leads to increase in blood pressure. It also makes you very irritable. It makes you, as a tembiano, chedo buefu, ni ne bibiye wahi, because body no enya enhye ne ho ebio abra wasori anopa no. Enti na say nyoma ensisi so papa. Enti the mind itself is not functioning right because it feels that it does not have what it needs. For that reason, it is very important. It is very essential that you do have adequate sleep and quality sleep so that it does not affect your mood also. After a period of time, when you're becoming more irritable, when you're having low concentration, when you are not able to retain information, it can lead into mental status change. So people who are manic, or people get manic because they go for a long period of time without sleep. And we've talked about bipolar, so you can check on that video on our channel to see more or to learn more about bipolar and manic phase. What can also happen is you can also have psychosis due to lack of sleep. And there are so many other mental health conditions that can be brought on because of lack of sleep. Hence, it is very important that you do have adequate and quality sleep. What also happens is sometimes we waste too much time in bed trying to sleep because of the condition that we might have. So if you have insomnia, you try to lay down to sleep, and then it will take you like an hour or two, sometimes more, before you are able to fall asleep. So that is time being wasted. And then if you also have difficulty staying asleep, then you're going to be having frequent awakening, which interrupts your sleep. So you'll be in bed for, let's say, 8 hours, but you're actually sleeping for 2 hours. So you're losing 6 hours for nothing. Then somebody might ask, what is a good amount of time to sleep? It is recommended that for adults, we sleep for at least 7 hours a night. At least 7 hours a night. So anytime you sleep in less than 7 hours and you also do have a sleeping disorder, then actually you sleep in less than 5 hours a night, which is definitely not healthy for you, whether medically or mentally. With all these sleep disorders, what can also happen is you can die in your sleep. The ewo sansemi nyina ho ne se ubonso obi na monom yeso akwede no nyare o ne ho de odaya wan sorry. Esan say onya good sleep for a long period of time no ama lead to akumayare ahodo na ye nimu nti no ubonso obekwa koda na nakuma no entimi encompensate for adwuma na yese ye na afide na eje adwuma ye na afide wewu woni nem enti de ehu hia asemeke ehu hia pa say ye betimi seek help, especially if you know say o sorry anopa na say still wabre utimi say madache and so still minya enough sleep o da na so hran kromo a, it is a sign of a sleep apnea. Enti ese o hwe ho asemka ana say o da nso na eye ni no anyane ana so say okoda na chance na wada mesho pe hu adwumadi tu hu anamon enye sa ebetimi de ohaw bebre abro. Enti so no obi wo fie, if you're home with someone, you will want to ask, how would I know that this person has a sleeping disorder or a condition which needs attention? Because for me, I will only know when I wake up and still feel tired. When I wake up and I'm not able to concentrate, falling asleep during the day, you know, those symptoms are there for you to know yourself. But while asleep, what somebody else might notice is, one, you snore, especially heavily when you are asleep. If you are heavy in weight, it can be a contributing factor. The other thing is, while asleep, your oxygen exchange is not regular. So your partner might see that during the night, you are not breathing in enough. Sometimes you have so much difficulty breathing in through your nose that you have to open your mouth to be able to have some oxygen exchange. Se ebanesa the unya enough air. And lack of oxygen to the brain over a period of time can lead to brain damage. And that is why it is very important that we do get enough sleep so that we do not have brain issues. Right? Okay, so I was saying that if you are with your partner and they realize that during the night they are gasping for air, omo humi asensi so just obie na no wetimi ahumi afa nanum a ebu on ma ya won say say huro bi fi nanum eba woni eduru ni sa na ya akwa echi nti ese ope emo bi ma no ana ne respirations, you know, when you breathe in and out now utim say enye regular bio, then you know say the person is struggling for air. When the heart rhythm also changes, then you know that the heart is trying to compensate for the activities that it has to do. When the person snores a lot, that is another way. And the other cheapest way to also do it is to have a pulse ox, right? Oxygen, no. They checking out the share no. When you be at the share or the recording, sir, you realize you said the oxygen level will be dropping. Until as it's dropping, then it means that the person is not having enough oxygen in their system. For that reason, you know that there's something going wrong. So, with all this being said, it will not be beneficial if I do not give you any way to manage this condition. So now, let's look at one. We've already mentioned it as part of the problems. Hence, I want to also let you know that it's also part of the treatment. is to have a good circadian cycle, or to train your body to know that this time is when I go to sleep and this is when I wake up. Once you get in that routine, it helps your body to adjust to it. The other thing is in terms of medication. Usually I do not recommend medications on my educational videos because I do not want it to be the case where it's like Philip said I should go take this, right? But in this case, our body has something called melatonin, which helps us sleep. And it's in its natural form sold at the stores. It's over the counter. Into no corner occurs up a melatonin at all. It's anything between 3 milligrams to 9 milligrams, maybe far more than that. But just start slowly. So start with 3 milligrams or 6 milligrams and then see how your body reacts to it. Then if it helps you sleep, then great. You stop it right there. Now, wait me after no now bow am wada. As I said, then it's something that our body produces to help us sleep. Hence, it doesn't have so much side effects because it's always it's in its natural state. The other thing is to take daytime naps because you're not having enough sleep during the night. No, it is important to say during the day. No, you take some power naps. Like an hour or two. Not that crabia. Most of no aside refresh. Then you can move along. See, you not be driving and sleeping. We also have to manage our environment. Where your room, no, it is very important that it's well conditioned. So here it will give you like a beach sound where it soothes you to fall asleep. It's okay. If there's so much light in your room too, you might want to look for dark blinds, right? And I said dark curtains. Now I said the light that comes in your room, no, will be reduced, and you can have that night view in your room to be able to get enough sleep also. And please also make sure that you don't have furniture misplaced or things put all over the place in your room, because it can be a trip hazard, either when you sleep and then you just wake up, or with the room being dark, you might not be able to see well, and then it might be a trip hazard. The other thing is weight management. Let's take care of our weight. If we're snoring and we're having difficulty sleeping and everything, let's try and reduce some weight, and it can help us to also have a good sleep. If possible, use more pillows to elevate your head when you go to sleep, so that you can have some good oxygen exchange with your head elevated. With all this, so if you're having some problems, then I would say please see a practitioner so that they can do a sleep study and maybe get you on a CPAP, and I say a BiPAP, right? Because it's very important that we get quality sleep. What happens is the perception that once again we have about, you should CPAP. It is your life that we're talking about. If you're not getting good sleep, where it can affect your mental health, it can affect your mental status, and it can lead you to death, among other medical conditions, versus using a CPAP. So think about it. Please let me know your comments and share this video with your friends and family so that they can also educate themselves about some health conditions or mental health conditions that we suffer from. On this note, please like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can grow the Feel Good family. Make your life worth living. Thank you.